Gaza Ground Zero, Tunnels of Tension. Welcome to my podcast for Eternal Souls Matter. I'm Suzanne LaBeouf. Today I'll give you an update on the Hamas militants trapped in the tunnels under Rafah. Rafah is located at the southern end of Gaza and borders Egypt. Today is Monday, November 17th, 2025. A month into the fragile ceasefire that's reshaped Gaza, a hidden war simmers in the tunnels. Scores of Hamas militants are trapped underground, food and water dwindling, and the clock is ticking on a deal that could make or break lasting peace. Is this a stalemate, a spark for renewal, or a powder keg? Here's the scoop. It's been just over a month since the U.S. brokered ceasefire, President Trump's 20-point peace plan, took hold on October 10th. Hostages returned, aid trucks rolled in, though not enough, as Hamas complains, and Gaza exhaled for the first time in years. But that yellow line, it's not just a boundary on a map. It splits the strip like a scar. Israel controls the east, including much of Rafah's ruins, while Hamas holds sway to the west. And deep under that line, a labyrinth of booby-trapped tunnels, up to 200 Hamas fighters are holed up, split into isolated cells, cut off from their leaders and staring down survival. We don't know exactly how many are still alive. Estimates vary from 130 to 200. What we do know is they're running low on supplies. No resupply lines, no orders from above, just the raw instinct to endure. These aren't abstract numbers. They're men who've ambushed IDF troops post-ceasefire, killing at least 3 soldiers in the early days. Hamas denies directing those hits, claiming they've lost touch with these isolated groups. But from Israel's view, it's a clear violation. Militants crossing that yellow line, turning a truce into target practice. Now rewind to November 12th. IDF forces are methodically dismantling Hamas's underground empire in Rafah, those infamous tunnels used for smuggling rockets and worse. Suddenly, troops spot 4 fighters creeping too close, right on the Israeli side of the line. Shots fired, 3 down, 1 fate unknown. No IDF casualties that day, but it's a stark reminder. The war didn't end, it just went subterranean. Hamas cries foul, accusing Israel of shattering the ceasefire. The enemy is dismantling infrastructure, they say, but the IDF fires back. Under point 20 of Trump's plan, they're well within bounds to neutralize threats and destroy terror networks. No breach, just business unfinished. Hamas's armed wing, the Al-Qassam brigades, dropped a defiant statement over the weekend. There is no such thing as surrendering to the enemy. We entrust the mediators with their duty to safeguard the truce. Translation: we're not disarming, not handing over a soul, and if this blows up, it's on you, Qatar, Egypt, and the U.S. It's a high-stakes game of chicken, and these trapped fighters are the unwilling pawns, prioritizing breath over battle cries. So what's the play? The U.S. is pushing hard for a resolution. Relocate these militants to Turkey or another willing post, away from the tunnels, away from the line. Safe passage in exchange for intel on the network, maybe even the return of Lieutenant Hadar Golden's body, held by Hamas for over a decade. Israel and the U.S. have reportedly linked a deportation framework this week, but here's the rub. No country's stepping up to take them in. Turkey's in talks via its intel chief, Ibrahim Kalin, but Netanyahu's drawn a red line of his own. No free exit to the West, no amnesty without accountability. Stalemate. Aids trickling in, 600 trucks a day promised, but often under 200, and civilians pay the price, with over 200 Palestinians killed since the truce began, per Gaza health officials. Enter President Trump, the architect of this uneasy peace. He's been crystal clear. Hamas must disarm in phase 2, or America will make it happen quickly and perhaps violently. But there's a carrot, too. Amnesty for those who lay down arms and swear off the fight, living in peaceful coexistence with Israel. safe passage for the rest to receiving countries. Trump's team sees this Rafah crisis as a blueprint. Trap 'em, negotiate 'em out, disarm the group for good. No more destabilizing the deal from the dark. Yet Hamas digs in. Disarmament? To be discussed in a Palestinian national framework, they say, implying they'll contribute but not capitulate. And whispers from Jerusalem suggest the U.S. might even skip full disarmament to kickstart reconstruction. Rebel removal over rocket threats. Bold? Risky? Absolutely. Folks, this isn't just geopolitics, it's the hinge of hope. These tunnels aren't just concrete, they're the ghosts of October 7, the barriers to Phase 2, an international security force patrolling Gaza, full Israeli withdrawals, and yes, Hamas handing over their guns. If unresolved, it poisons the well. Trapped fighters go rogue, skirmishes spike, and the ceasefire crumbles, like so much of Rafah already has. But if mediators thread this needle, deportation, amnesty, accountability, we edge closer to a Gaza that rebuilds, not reloads. As one Israeli security official put it anonymously, it's a tactical headache with diplomatic fangs. And on X, voices echo the divide, from calls to flood the tunnels to pleas for passage. That's the news for today. Stay informed, stay compassionate, and remember, peace demands vigilance. If you like this podcast, please consider subscribing. See you next time, and thanks for listening.